How you doing, guys? I'm going to show you how to brix one of these old school FBDs. They don't have that nice screen that the newer ones do, but these are still pretty easy to work with. So to brix an FBD, you're going to need one of these, which is called a refractometer. You're going to need a cup, and you're going to need a straw. You also might need a bucket to fill, and maybe a bucket of water. After you put your sample in here, you're gonna want to rinse it off if you need to adjust it and re-brix. So first thing to note is that these little modules, they have what's called a sample port. Sample port pours out the syrup mixture, the syrup water mixture out of here. The two on the left pour out here. The two modules on the right pour out here. In order to get yourself some syrup, you're going to need to turn this dial to the right. I recommend getting a decent amount, don't get a tiny amount. Anyways, what you're going to do is get a little syrup, get it in the straw, put it on the blue part of the refractometer, and then quickly close this. Oops. Until it spreads out. Alright, then you're going to take a reading through this. It's going to be hard to tell, but you're going to have two colors. It's going to be a dark blue on top and a light blue on bottom. There's going to be a dividing line between them. That's going to be your brix ratio. The numbers to the right will correspond to the line. What you're looking for is about 14. Now, let's say you do need to change that ratio. Let's say it was 10 or 20. Something outside of the 14. This is going to change the syrup. You turn to the right, you increase the syrup. This is going to change the water. Again, turn to the right, you increase water. Turn to the left, you decrease water. I've heard it said it's preferred to change the syrup. What you're going to want to do before you mess around with any of this stuff, however, is go find out what might be adjusting that brix ratio up or down. It's a good idea to check out the back room regardless before you touch anything, but this will show you the importance. So Cherry was the culprit on this one, was making noise. I'll explain the importance of that later, but that's a Best By date of 4/28/2022. That's expired by months, almost half a year. The other problem child was Blue Raspberry. Blue Raspberry appears to be okay with their expiration date. I don't remember what it is, but I checked it out before I started this. Anyways, look down there. See that Blue Raspberry? Somebody didn't hook it up right, most likely, and these pumps sucked up air and the machine gave it more water than it should have. So the original complaint to this whole call was noise. If you have noise, it could be a couple of different things, but when I think noise, I look for things that I can adjust or things that I can that I have control over. And when I got here, I tested the brix, and this brix was super low. There's too much water. If you have a low brix, there's too much water. If you have a high brix, too much syrup. Too much water means that the barrel's going to freeze quicker than it should. Not enough, and the barrel is never going to freeze. So if you have like a super high brix, like let's say 20, your barrel's not going to freeze, and also the taste is going to be super sweet and concentrated. Anyways, When there's too much water in here, the inside of this barrel starts to freeze over, and there's these scrapers inside that go along the edges of the barrel, and I had a feeling that might have caused a noise. So when I brixed it and I got a low number, I immediately wanted to see what would cause that low brix, and what I found was expired product. Another thing that can cause a low brix is if your machine hasn't been up and running for a while and customer starts it up. If it hasn't been properly calibrated or adjusted to get that right ratio, they might be running on low brix. Another thing is sometimes customers will not change the box out in time, and they'll just let it go and go and go, and that'll cause these barrels to not get enough syrup, too much water, and in that case you're going to need to flush out the barrel and flush out those lines and start all over again before you mess around with anything adjusting brix. All right, that's it.